My parents found my address, broke into my apartment, assaulted me, and forced me to move back home. I'm 22 and feel trapped. I'm a 22F from France. I used to live alone in Bordeaux, in a small studio I rented for my studies. I had dropped out of engineering school due to depression, which they didn't know about, and was planning to cut contact with my parents for several reasons. They've always treated me more like a product than a person, only proud of me if I obey and stay in line. I'm a lesbian, and they're extremely homophobic. If they found out, I don't even want to imagine the consequences. I'm an atheist, and they've forced religion on me my entire life. When I tried to talk to them about my depression, they told me to just believe in God more. That depression was a ridiculous thing for white people who don't believe. When I'm with them, I feel crushed, worthless. Once I decided to cut them off, I finally felt lighter, free for the first time. My plan was simple: find a job and be financially independent. Tell them I didn't want them in my life anymore. I also couldn't come out yet because my younger sister still lives with them and begged me not to, fearing it would make her life hell and affect her studies. So my excuse for not talking to them was, I failed my year and need to be alone. They didn't respect that. They kept sending messages and even threatened multiple times to come to Bordeaux. I never gave them my address. June 26th, 2025. The worst day of my life. I got a message from my mom telling me to open the door, that she was downstairs. I didn't want to see them, especially since I had alcohol, cigarettes, and other things they would flip out over. They started emotionally blackmailing me, threatening to call the fire department to break down my door or do it themselves. That night, my dad suddenly began kicking and slamming my door, trying to break it. I held it shut with all my strength, screaming for help, but no neighbors came. Eventually, I convinced them to stop by, agreeing to meet them outside. I waited a few minutes, then stepped into the hallway, but before I could even close my door, someone grabbed me and started hitting me. It was my dad. I don't know how long it lasted. I was screaming for help, trying to protect my head. He eventually ripped my keys from my hand and entered my apartment, leaving me curled up in the hallway. Someone must have called the police because officers showed up moments later. I didn't press charges. I told myself it was the last gift I'd give him. The next day, my parents forced me to leave with them. I had no real choice. Now I'm back in their house. They monitor me constantly. I have no income, and I feel completely trapped. I want to leave again, but I'm scared they'll find me. They somehow got my address before, and I don't know how. Has anyone here escaped a situation like this as an adult? How did you protect yourself legally and make sure they couldn't track you down again?